Hey everybody, I'm going to show you the rest of the stuff that I've picked up and a couple more things that I picked up in Prescott that I didn't show in the last video. It's like I said, man, I was tired. I finally got caught up on my sleep. And also I've got another Atari haul that I got from my buddy Jim. More 2600 stuff and system. You've seen a few of those, as in I'm getting a nice collection of them to stow away and sell in the far future. But did get a nice pile of games with it, so I'm gonna save that for last. Got one plug-and-play system, and got this and a GameCube game, Goodwill in Prescott, and not horrible on the prices, just higher than what I usually pay around here. They're Goodwill. Some of the stuff that they had, man, just way high priced. Anyways, this was about $5 and very cool. I think it's got about 4 or 5 games on it. It's another thing to where all this stuff, man, I haven't really messed with it since at the hotel, to where I just was testing it out on their TV. This is Jack's Pacific Darth Vader plug-and-play game, and good little selection of games on it. Has some old school style shooters, one that's a racing game, kind of, sort of, where you're chasing and shooting. And then either one or two to where you got one of the characters from Star Wars, and one you're kind of going back and forth, and it's like one of the old top-down type shooters, like Galaxian or whatever, and they're shooting at you, and you're using your lightsaber to hit the enemy fire and make it bounce back and hit the bad guys. So kind of like stuff like that. Simplistic on the graphics, it does look old school, but the games are pretty challenging. They're not just easy games, so pretty cool for $5. And the thing looks cool lit up. This one, when you turn it on, there's a power button that turns red. I didn't ever try it. I don't know if the pause button lights up or not. I did get the red light there to light up. It's kind of made to look like his instrument panel that was on his chest. So, pretty cool looking system. Then the game that I snagged, I got this for $1 less. I think this was like $3.99, and it's in pretty damn good shape for being in a thrift store. This is Enter the Matrix for GameCube. I always thought it was a cool looking cart. It has kind of a hologram look to it. The way they did the code and stuff, like it's all backlit. It's pretty cool. And 2 discs with this one. There's only 1 disc that has just some light scratching, so pretty good deal on that. And say, man, in the last vid, that was the only stuff I found at thrift stores. The thrift stores were big, but they just didn't have exactly what I was looking for. And very few of them had any game stuff whatsoever. But big thrift stores, man, so you never know. I think it's just getting there at the right time. Now, this is that little NES type system that I was talking about, where it's one of the clones, and it was $19.99. Once again, for anybody who didn't watch my last video that I did last night, I'll give the link for this site again, because you can order these from his site. He just doesn't have too much else. I think a lot of the stuff that he sells, he does on eBay. So this website, it just feels like either they quit working on it or just not fully developed yet. As in, some of the links that you click on go to pages where it just shows the folders like he's still getting it set up. And still haven't played this again since testing it, but I did get a couple of games to load up right away on this. It's what you pay for, man. $20, and it definitely feels like a little $20 system. It's just China made, but definitely worth the $20 if you want one that is gonna play the damn games and not give you crap like the old toaster systems do. So, show you guys the box. This one's made by Retrobit, Retro Entertainment System for NES. I'm figuring this doesn't have any kind of lockout chips, so it may do more than just US. It won't do Japan, but it may do Euro NES games, so don't know. Because looking inside this thing, there's not much to it. Now that I heard what my buddy Jim had to do with his, because one of the problems with it is, yeah, I can't really show you because it's just going to show dark, but when you look in the cartridge slot on this, it's got one circuit board that's pretty damn small, just a long rectangle size one, and the only thing holding that down is the pin connector. So just 2 screws holding that, and what happened on his is somebody yanked out the cart and snapped one of the screw posts. So what he did is he opened it up, glued the post together, and then reinforced the hell out of it with just clear silicone and just built it up so it's got some cush to it, so it's not just the posts that are taking all that stress when you put games in and take them out. Other than that, not bad. There's what it looks like, and they do come in different colors. This one, it's because it's a black and white picture, it's silver, kind of just that dull silver. Doesn't have any gloss on it, but not bad looking. I believe there was one that was red and white, one that was red and black, and I think one other color. So, not bad. And the controllers feel the same way as the system, man. The only thing that's cool on the controllers is instead of just the A and B buttons for NES, each one of them has a turbo button. And then you also have slow motion. So a little bit of extra stuff to make the cheap controllers a little better. And it looks like it's got a little red light that comes on the controller when you hit slow motion. Haven't tried them out on a standard NES, and all my toaster systems, man, all but for the ones that I got boxed up to sell that are packed away right now. I've had a lot of problems getting pin connectors that work good. That's why I got this. I'm sick of having them not work when I'm trying to get games tested out. And right off the bat, any of you guys that either have a Sega Genesis 3 system or have seen one, this is about the same size. It's tiny. Really small system. You stick in the cartridge and it just towers over it. So pretty simplistic and also very lightweight. It's just going to show dark in there. Pretty much when you open it in, all you see is the cartridge slot, but yeah, I think it's the same as his. His was a clone of this, as in they copy each other in China, and the difference on his is instead of having the power and reset button up to the front of it, they were kind of a little oval shaped thing, same area, just on top of the plastic and not up front. Otherwise looked identical, and I cannot remember which brand his was, so there may be another one out there that you can get for 20 bucks. And then AV hookup on the back, and then DCN has a standard type plug, so this is another one where you can replace the plug with a different brand or whatever, or just find one of those universal ones that has multiple jacks on it. And before I show you the controllers, I'll give you the specs on the power supply if you guys find one of these at a yard sale. Let's see, input 110 volt, 60 hertz, 90 mA, output 6 volt, 200 mA, polarity positive to the outside shield of the plug, negative to the inside where the little pin goes in. So easy enough to find a replacement for this. And the controllers. These controllers, man, really lightweight. I'm tempted to open one up just to see how it's made because they are really lightweight, but not bad. They're about the same size as a standard NES controller. As you can see, you got the 4 buttons there. B and A off to the corner, and then above them you got the turbo buttons. Then select and start right next to each other, and then slow motion above it. And this one, the cross pad on it, it's more like what you'd have on a Sega Genesis controller, which in a way I like it better. Feels better for the thumb. It's not so tiny as it is on the standard NES, but other than that, pretty cheap. Not as thick a cable, but as you can see, nice and long, so they give you plenty of length on that. And just like a lot of the other NES clones and stuff for NES and Super NES and Genesis, you can use the original controllers on the system. So anything you can use on your NES, you can use on this. So that's that, and give you just a close look at the Atari. This is another one. Jim seems to be finding Atari stuff lately, and this is another one he had posted on Craigslist, and I wasn't going over to get this. I just knew he had it, so I'll take a look at it, see how it is, and see if there's any games that I didn't have. And I got a nice stack of new games for my personal collection, so he gave me a good deal. But he had the Atari and 40 games, 2 of them being in television carts. Don't know why he had them in there, so I did get a couple of in television carts. And he had it at $50. He gave it to me for 40, so another good deal. It's another 4-switcher, Woody, and he tested it out while I was there, and it's in good shape. Missing quite a bit of the orange paint along here, but to me that's no big deal. It's not beat up or anything. And I'm thinking this is probably like a 83 or 1984 model, because it's got it. Oh wait, no, I'm backwards. Earlier than that. This is one of them that probably came out a little bit after the 6er, as it's got the piece of plastic cover there. It's not just solid, to where they just put kind of a sticker type thing there to cover up the other controller ports. So this can still be switched around and have the shell used for a 6er. As in this panel here, once you open it up, it just snaps in place to where you can take one off a 6er, put it in here, and just do the switch around. And no switch box this time. Whoever had it was a gamer, had a little direct connect with it, so that's kind of cool. Now the games, I got some pretty cool ones in the mix. Got getting reflection again off my damn light, so I don't know if you guys can see this good or not. Anyways, got the original Breakout, Super Breakout. This is the one I did not have. I haven't even tried playing it yet. This is called No Escape. It has some really... This guy, it's a guy, and he's riding a Pegasus, and he's holding a sword, and he's got this really just staring off into space look on his face. It's kind of funny. You'd have to see it to see how funny it is. It's just like a nerd look. Doesn't look tough at all. Like they just got the nerd, dressed him up in a dress type thing, and put him on a Pegasus. Pretty fucked up, but anyways. New one, and it's by Magic, so maybe a good game. Magic usually doesn't fail to please me when it comes to Atari stuff. Got a couple of Atari and television clone games. One for Lock and Chase. It's one where it looks like an Intellivision cart with an extension on it. Good game. This one I've never played. This is Dark Cavern. Another Atari and television clone. Got a total oddball here, and I don't think I have any that are made by this company in my collection yet. Till now. This one's made by Spectra Video. It's Planet Patrol. And it's in rather good shape. A lot of these games are in good shape, but this one doesn't look like it got played much. It's kind of a different looking type cart. Sequest. Another one that I didn't have. Pretty sure I don't have this. This one's made by Parker Brothers, Tutankhamun. Laser Blast. Another Magic one that I didn't have yet. A Firefighter. Bowling. And this one, I gotta look through. I don't know if I have this version of it or not, because I got a lot of the standard Atari brand Pac-Man carts. This one is actually Sears Telegames Pac-Man. And other than missing the end label, it's in pretty good shape. Just don't know if I have that version of it anywhere else. Another Parker Brothers game that I did not have. Reactor. This one, I don't know if I have it or not already, and this one's in pretty good shape. This one's by VidTech. Space Jockey. Looks like a side-scrolling shooter. This one looked interesting. It's got this crazy scene of this old guy running back and forth catching stuff. It's called Lost Luggage, and it's by Apollo. That's basically it. You got this dude that you run back and forth with, and you got luggage falling down, and you got to catch each thing. So, simplistic but looked fun. This is the one that I tested out while I was over at his place. And I got to look through my Intellivision carts, because I got an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but I've never been able to find the one that's Treasure of Tarman, and that's the one to find. They only did 2, and this one, I don't know if it's that or not. All I can really do is go by the date. This one's dated 1982. Both of them are good games. It's just Treasure of Tarman. They tried to do the 3D thing, where it's like a 3D maze, and it's one where you hit the disc and you take a few steps, and then you take a few more steps, and then you got doors and rooms to go into. And I used to play the living crap out of that when I was a teenager, so don't know if it's that one or the other, because it doesn't say. So cool to have. And then I'm getting a collection of Burger Time, as in another copy of Burger Time. Can't have enough of that game. Another copy of Dragonfire by Magic. And this is another one of the Atari and Television clones. Oh, this one actually says M Network on it. Let's see. This one doesn't have a label. I'm just trying to remember which one was cloned. It's one of the space games for Intellivision. I'll just add a little note. I can't remember. It's not one of the bad space games. It's one of the original ones that came out when I first got my Tandyvision system, and it's one that I played to death. Simplistic but fun. I'll probably think of it as I'm talking on the other ones. Space Battle. Click. Had to fire the right fucking synapse. Yeah, it's their version of it, and looks pretty damn similar to the Intellivision version. It's just that one you use the keypad a lot for selecting your squadrons to go after and stuff. This one, it's all on the joystick, and it's kind of confusing on what does what, because you got your different colored groups that you send out to attack these different squadrons, and it's one of those ones on they're invading the space station, so it's whatever one of your groups gets to the bad guys first is where you start battle. Other than that, great game. Got Haunted House. Circus Atari. Copy of Demon Tack. Good game. This one, I didn't recognize it. I've heard about it. It's kind of a, I think it's a checkers type game, one of those types. Boring as all freaking hell. This is Othello. Copy Yar's Revenge. Night Driver. A pretty decent copy of Amador. Pretty fun game by Parker Brothers. A couple of Star Wars games, and unfortunately I already had them both. But this one is not in that bad a shape, and this is a great game. This is Return of the Jedi Death Star Battle. And I also got Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and this one's a side-scrolling shooter. And I'd say they're both about in the same shape. Not bad for the labels. Usually the Parker Brother games, either the label has come off because they didn't glue them on very good, or they're just shot. And both of these look like they've been taken care of. And got the Atari version of Popeye. And I cannot remember how this is on Atari, but on the ColecoVision, this one's close to arcade quality. They really did good on it. This Pac-Man. Football. Don't think I have this one. Home Run. Street Racer. Vanguard. And basketball. I think that's all of them. So, as you can see, man, got quite a few more that I didn't get on the last few times. A lot of times I'll get a lot of clones and maybe about a handful of new ones from my personal collection. This time we had quite a few that weren't in it, so definitely worth the $40. Put it this way, I've got some of those plastic drawer type things where it's a dresser size drawer. I've already got 2 of them packed full of Atari games. One for my personal collection, which I'm going to have that thing packed, and then another one that's got a lot of the games when I picked up that Atari that wasn't taken care of, and the games all had tape and stuff on them. Still got a lot of them left. So, can't ever have enough Atari stuff, man. Finally hooked up the Jaguar and played that game that came with it, the space shooter one, and so far it's not bad enough to where I want to quit playing. It definitely had me intrigued to where I wanted to play for a little bit and try passing some levels, but definitely has some technical glitches, as in you're picking up these kind of diamond shaped pods and they're scattered all over the place, and you do have radar. And first level I was able to find all the pods, pass the level. Second one, I picked one to where it had like 27 pods you gotta find to rescue. They had them like right next to buildings, and you do have it to where you can speed up and slow down and go backwards with your ship, or just dead stop. You get a kid playing it, I could see how it could be frustrating, because they are right by the building to where if you go just a tiny bit further, boom, you blow up your ship. And there was one, it's like, it was showing where it was in the same group of buildings, and it's like, where the friggin' hell is it? And then I go by the building, and half of this little pod is sticking out of it, like they overlapped on the graphics. Finding a lot of technical issues like that. Then another level, damn near found all of them, and all of a sudden it's like, it gives arrows on what direction to go for the next pods or bad guys. Got it to where it wasn't telling me where to go, so I was just going in all directions, and I kept finding bad guys, but it would not tell me where to go for the next pod, so I had to give up. So, kind of a lot of technical stuff like that. It feels like one of those games that's just underdeveloped. And I think it's an issue with a lot of the games on that system, man. They're just underdeveloped to where it's like either they really, really suck or they're pretty damn good. So, downloaded an emulator for Jaguar last night and got some of the games that are good, and they really are good. A lot of people say like the Aliens vs. Predator on Jaguar can be kind of boring, but to me, man, it's cool. I mean, it's like a lot of them compare it to the N64, which, yeah, N64 kicks ass on graphics over the Jaguar, but gotta remember, they weren't competing with the N64. It wasn't out yet. They were competing with Super Nintendo and Genesis, which, yeah, it does have better graphics than those systems, just not as good as N64. So, I'm happy with it. Definitely a system. Stays in my collection. I'm never going to get rid of it. I probably will never find another one that looks mint condition. I wiped it all down, and it is mint condition. Whoever had it just either didn't play it, or the kid was a snot, and it went into the attic or whatever, and that's where it stayed until they sold it. Somebody didn't appreciate it. So, catch you guys later. Feel free to comment.